We've got the main part of the music breakdown. I think this is actually going to be the chorus. I looked at this Melanie Martinez one more time, and it was like 5 minutes long. We're not going to make a 5 minute track, right? I normally like to keep mine around 3 minutes, something like that. You might do 3:30 if it has like an actual full bridge. But let's go back to the format and look at that real quick. So let me find it. So if you remember from the beginning of the video when we were talking about our, putting a roadmap together, we're going to have strings and piano for verse 1. So we're going to have kind of a cinematic intro that will flow directly into the chorus. Music break and chorus, I'm going to put this together. And then we're going to have this bridge will actually be later, after verse 2. Okay. Here we go. All right. And I wanted to cover, so this beat's a little more complex than most of my beats, but for this course, I wanted to put like a little bit of everything into it, just so you had a good, well-rounded, a lot of tools in the tool belts you'll get coming out of this one example. A couple things we're going to go over is a vocoder, and I'll probably add that into the chorus a little bit later. And we're also going to do a sample chop. This will most likely be for verse 2. But for now, we're going to start building this verse 1 cinematic, just strings and a piano, and I'm probably going to add some like cinematic drum elements at the end of it as well. So, to kind of lead into that chorus. So let's get started. So I'm going to highlight. Actually, I'm going to get rid of the Melanie Martinez one. I think we've pulled all the elements we want to out of that. We'll still want to, this McCall song here, we'll still want to pull some things out of it for verse 2.
Come a little closer. Run your fingers over mine. Look away.
Oof, I love that. We're going to have to use Shaper Box for that, for some of those synth sounds, and I'll show you how to do that later. We're going to do something similar in our track. But let's go ahead and we're going to pick our select tool right here. I'm going to highlight all of this. And I'm going to do let's see, this is in 93. Probably trying to think of how long to make the verse and the chorus. So give me 1 second. Let me just play the chorus real quick. I don't know why this isn't moving over. Hold on. I'm going to unloop this. There we go. All right. Just going to play the chorus. Okay, so if we were to make the verses 8 bars, so we're going to have like 16 bars. So we're going to have an 8-bar intro, and then we're going to have 16-bar verse, 16-bar chorus. And that would bring the chorus in by 30 seconds. Let me think about that for a minute. And then if we did another 16 here, and second chorus would be over there, and then the bridge would be here at about 132. And if the bridge is also 16 bars, I'd put the last chorus here at 153, and then we would be at 214 by the end of the song. So I think we're going to need 16-bar verses. And that's pretty standard. It's just, with different tempos, it's different. But I am just moving this out to bar 29. So we're going to have an 8-bar intro right here. Actually, it's 4-bar, I guess, technically. 1, 2, 3. So it's 4-bar. So excuse my... sometimes I work in double time, sometimes I don't. But this is a 4-bar intro, and then we're going to have a 16-bar... 8-bar intro. Then 16-bar verse. So we should end up Give me 1 second here. Let me back out a bit. Okay, so that's the intro right here. Then 1, 2. So this actually should be over here. There we go. All right. So we're going to have, this will be the intro right here, 8-bar intro. Then we're going to have 16 bars. There's 8, and there's another 8, and then we'll bring the chorus in here. So this is going to be just strings and just piano. I'm actually going to pull this back here. And the reason is, so we stay within that chord progression. We can hear those chord progressions, so when we're creating our strings and our piano, it'll follow along with that. There we go. So this is the intro, and then these two are going to be the verse. I wonder if that's too long of an intro. Hold on, let me listen to it again. Let me listen to just the chords. I think a 4-bar intro might be good. I think we're going to do a 4-bar intro. Because the first 4 bars, like I'm just thinking you want the vocal to come in sooner than later, right? When you're writing a song. That might be too long of an intro, especially for radio. Like, people aren't going to want to wait 8 bars to actually hear somebody sing or to hear something interesting in the track. So we're going to leave it at 4 bars. Now, you heard some, I brought this up earlier, you heard some crackling. Here, let me play it again real quick. You hear that little bit of crackling? That's what I was talking about when at the beginning when I said make sure your buffer size is big. So if you go to audio settings, make sure your buffer size is as big as it can get, which is right here. Right, I've got it on 2048. This is where your memory comes into play, what processor you use, all of that, resources. There's a way to consolidate your track so it doesn't take so much of your memory or resources to process. I'll show you how to do that in a little bit, but right now we need to build our strings. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to focus on, well, we're going to call this long strings. And we're going to put this right here. All right. Okay. And we're going to focus just on these 8 bars for now. And I'm going to copy and paste the chords from this, the chord progression. So I'm a Control A, Control C. Go down here to the long strings. We're going to add an instrument. I'm going to add one from Labs. So this is Spitfire Labs. I included this link in the starter links. Lot of great free sounds. Like, you can go in there and find a ton of things. Soft piano is a beautiful. Let me just play a little bit of that. Beautiful, like it says, soft piano. You can add your reverb right here in the plugin. But I'm going to choose a long string sound. So we're going to strings. You can do ensemble or you can do long. Alright, so I'm going to use that as ensemble strings, even though they're individual string sounds. I'm going to paste that into here. Okay. Woo. Oh, something happened there. So, yeah, so you heard, it sounded like one of the chords just stopped on you here. I'll let you know. Oh, it's all there now. No, we're good, we're good. Wow, that's just lush. That's a great sound. for that chord progression. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add a little bit of movement to these strings using a tool called Shaper Box. So I want it to kind of grow like, so I want it to grow with each chord change. And that's easy to do. So we're just going to open up our mixer. So this is routed to track 11. It should be routed to 12 because we have this sample right here on track 11. See, that's on track 11. So we're going to move this to 12. We're going to go to mixer channel 12. I'm going to add Shaper Box. And we don't have to sidechain anything like that. We just click the, going through here and sidechaining and routing to a track. We don't have to do any of that. We just open it up. We're going to click sidechain down here. Right now it's set to 1/4. So on every beat, it's going to do this motion with the volume. And that's not what we're going for. We want this to be every bar, every one bar. So 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, right? Get louder with every bar. And we want it to be more of a gradual growth, and we don't necessarily want to start it from nothing. We want to have a little volume at the beginning. So we're just going to push this all the way over here. We're going to move this over here. So, and we can do a little bit of what's called a Sforzando effect, where it hits it, gets quiet, and grows again. Yeah, let's actually do a Sforzando. That's what that's called. All right, so it's going to kind of go. Well, let's hear what it sounds like. This out a bit. Let's make it a little more subtle. There we go. All right, so now we have the basis for our strings. I don't want to make these modules too long, so let's move on to the next section. Hey, what's going on? I hope you've enjoyed this training. This training is just part of a larger course, so if you want to take the whole course, just go to this playlist right here. Also, if you subscribe to my channel, you're going to get a lot of information on how to get your music into TV and film. So if that's something that interests you, go ahead and subscribe, comment, like, all of those things. Let's go.